All right, folks, welcome back. Top U.S. Defense Department official is warning that Iran could make enough enriched fissile material for a nuclear bomb in about 12 days. In a congressional hearing, Secretary of Defense for Policy Colin Kahl said, quote, back in 2018, when the previous administration decided to leave the JCPOA, it would have taken Iran about 12 months to produce one bomb's worth of fissile material. Now it would take about 12 days. Let's bring in our panel. Former Executive Director of Iranian Americans for Liberty and Newsmax columnist Brian Leib, and Senate Chairman of the National Iran Congress and author of Comrade Ayatollah, Amir Fkhrāvar. Welcome to you, gentlemen. Brian, to you first. As part of the Obama-Ayatollah nuke deal, Iran's ability to create a nuclear weapon, all of its infrastructure was never destroyed, and Iran is developing nukes now in violation of international law. By the defense official's own admission, Iran could have made the same bomb in a year, but it would have had the blessings of the USA under the old deal, right? It would have been legitimate. Does Team Biden's excuses hold any water?
Not only do the excuses not hold any water, I mean, I can't keep up with whether we're days away, weeks away, months away from the Iranians having enough uranium for a nuclear bomb. You have Biden saying one thing, Blinken saying another thing, Malley saying another thing. Now you have Kahl saying a different thing. At the end of the day, I mean, this administration has done so much to directly embolden Iran to get to this point to where they're almost at 90% of the enrichment levels that they were at 60% just a couple months ago. So, you know, the Biden administration really needs, I've been saying this for so long now, they need to pivot back to the maximum pressure, maximum sanctions campaign against the world's leading sponsor of terrorism and ice them out once and for all before they do get that nuclear bomb.
Amir, about what Brian just brought up, since our government has been far less than trustworthy lately, what do you make of the 12-day time frame? Are you buying that?
The case is, Chris, right now, it's looked like the Biden administration, they are trying to find an excuse to continue negotiations with the terrorists. We are talking about the mullah's regime in Iran. It's the regime which is designated as a terrorist regime. And you cannot negotiate with the terrorists. That's the policy. It should stay as the policy. And regarding that statement that Iran is 12 days close to make the bomb, let's just put it that way. It's very dangerous for United States, for Israel. Earlier in Newsmax, I mentioned that look at the widely open border in our state, in Texas. And regime can send as many as terrorists they want with a nuke backpack to do whatever they want to do in United States. And also, let me go back to the story of Biden administration and their excuses. For last 3 years, we have been trying in our campaign to put IRGC, Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, on terror list. I was invited during last 8 months twice to speak at the UK Parliament and about that case. And it was very successful. Lord Pollock and Parliament member Bob Blackman, they led the campaign to put IRGC on terror list. But very interestingly, last week we realized Biden administration have been putting pressure on UK government to not put IRGC on terror list because of their negotiation with the mullahs. You cannot do that. And this is a shame for Biden administration for just going that dangerously to this path.
Yeah, absolutely. China, Iran, if it's an enemy of America, the Biden administration's right there. Hey, look, I want to ask you both about this. This is about an article of faith. Yeshiva University, it's an Orthodox Jewish institution, is now being essentially blackmailed by New York City's government to recognize a gay undergrad group or lose taxpayer funding. Should any religious school be blackmailed to have to turn their backs on their faith just to get tax dollars that were actually initially paid by people of faith? Brian, you first.
Well, I mean, certainly Yeshiva University is the target of this attack from the New York City CFO. But the larger attack happening in this country right now, Chris, is the attack on religious freedom of any kind right now. You know, if the left doesn't like what you're doing, then they're looking to cancel you. They're looking to strip funds from you. They're looking to do anything they can to make your life more painful, instead of respecting that maybe the other side has a different opinion on something. And that's exactly what's happening here with Yeshiva University. They are a religious organization that caters to the Orthodox Jewish community, and you know, they can make the decisions that they want. They don't have to be threatened by the New York City government to pivot into a different direction.
Yeah, Amir, what about that? The use of tax dollars as a totalitarian weapon to force Americans to give up their faith.
Look, let's look at it from the other view. When the story is about the Islamic centers in United States, you won't see these problems. Everywhere in United States, we do have it in Houston too, you will see the Islamic centers. They are very, very active in politics. Even in Michigan, we have Islamic centers who have been very active in U.S. election. Last U.S. election, and some mullahs from Iran could make speech for them. And these organizations, these Islamic centers, they don't have any problem with IRS. But when it comes to Jewish centers, oh yeah, some problems is coming up. Probably this administration doesn't have any problem with Islamic terrorists, but they do have problem with others.
That is a fantastic point. I wonder why the socialists who run New York aren't jonesing to force Islamic centers to accept the LGBTQ, ABCDEFG cultural Marxism. I wonder why there's not a big push there. Brian Leib and Amir Fkhravar will get that answer hopefully some point down the line. Thank you, gents. Appreciate it.